Uh, the name you have on the case and who I am, it's two different people.
You want to smile about it and laugh about it? Take him back.
Laugh.
We'll call him out later. Take him back. You keep laughing. You laugh one more time, that's 30 days. Go contempt. Look it up. I'm not threatening you. Say one more word and that's contempt. 30 days. 30 days.
This courtroom hearing starts off like a ticking time bomb, and it doesn't take long for it to blow. The moment this defendant walks in, you can already sense trouble brewing.
Seems to be some confusion.
What's the confusion?
I've stated multiple times on the record that I wish to represent myself.
Well, I thought we got rid of that issue the last.
Yeah, I thought so too. I spoke to this gentleman right here and expressed my wish to represent myself as well.
All right. Well, if he doesn't want you, I mean, we'll figure that out in a moment. So, Mr. Styron, we're going to go through this again. What do we want to do in this case? You understand what you charged with, sir?
I understand what the charges are against me, yeah.
Okay, look, you're going to have to give me straightforward answers to my questions because I've got to make sure that you understand certain things. I got to do certain things here.
From my understanding,
You understand, first of all, that if you do indeed direct, you want to smile about it and laugh about it, take him back. We'll call him out later. Take him back. You keep laughing. You laugh one more time, that's 30 days. Go contempt. Look it up.
Calm, smug, and grinning like he's got the whole system figured out. But that smirk? It's about to vanish real fast. The man starts arguing that the name on the case and who I am.
State your name.
my name is Thomas Styron. Living man.
Mr. Styron, you are before the court. You have elected to represent yourself. I do have to advise you that you have 3 counts against you. The first count is that of fleeing and eluding 3rd degree under the motor vehicle code. Do you understand the nature of that charge, sir?
This is under the assumption that you're compelling me to identify as Thomas York Styron, the legal entity on this case.
I believe that you are. Do you understand the nature of the charge, sir?
I don't understand how the name you have on the case and who I am, it's 2 different people.
I have a complaint, Thomas Styron II. Do you understand that that individual is charged with fleeing and eluding 3rd degree?
So,
do you understand the nature of that charge? You just need to answer my question.
For the record,
take him back, and when he decides he wants to cooperate, we'll bring him back, maybe. I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Are 2 different people. Classic sovereign citizen nonsense. The judge tries to keep things on track, but this guy keeps smiling like the courtroom's a comedy club. And then
recalls the case, people of the state of Michigan versus Thomas Styron II. Styron, you are before the court on a felony complaint that does allege count 1. And I'm going to presume, since you do not want to answer the court's questions, that you understand English and understand what I'm saying. You are before the court on 3 charges. Count 1 is the charge of fleeing and eluding 3rd degree. Under the Michigan Motor Vehicle Code, that is a felony punishable by up to 5 years incarceration or $1,000 fine plus court cost, and would require the Secretary of State to suspend your license for up to 1 year upon conviction. Count 2 is assaulting, resisting, and obstructing a police officer. That is a felony or high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years incarceration and or a $2,000 fine plus court cost. Count 3 is a misdemeanor offense of operating with a license suspended, denied, and or revoked. That is a misdemeanor as indicated, punishable by up to 93 days, $500 fine plus court cost. Your vehicle could be subject to immobilization. Since you refused previously to answer my acknowledgement as to whether you understand that, I will assume that you understand what you're charged with. You are also entitled to be represented by counsel at this and all subsequent proceedings. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney would be provided at public expense to represent you in this matter. You are entitled, as indicated, to be represented at this proceeding, all subsequent proceedings, including your preliminary examination, and if the matter were to proceed by trial, you would be entitled to counsel. It is, as we have gone through in the previous proceedings, the court's understanding that you do not wish to be represented by counsel, and that this matter will then proceed forth with you representing yourself. I have to advise you that in representing yourself, the court will make the presumption that you understand the Michigan court rules, those regarding both procedure and those regarding evidence. The court will not be providing any legal assistance to you during the course of those proceedings, and will hold you to the same standards that I would hold an attorney representing or practicing before this court. So, with all of that, and with the court's understanding that you do not want to be represented by counsel, I will set this matter for its next proceeding.
You understand I'm the beneficiary, not the trustee, right?
That will be the preliminary examination. I will set the preliminary examination. Has discovery been provided to the defendant?
Your Honor, he was previously represented by the public defender. I don't know if he turned over the paperwork to him.
Does anybody from the public defender's office know whether or not the defendant has been provided discovery? Mr. Odetella. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Your Honor, we have the discovery. I have not been able to share that discovery with Mr. Steyer, and I tried to speak with him and go over it, but I'd be happy to turn that over to him at first available.
All right. If you would either turn that over to the court officer so that they can provide that to Mr. Steyer so that he has the discovery, and if you could do that today, I would appreciate it.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm setting the preliminary examination. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
The people would have their witnesses available June 11th. Set this matter for preliminary examination in person, June 11th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before me. Defendant, as he was leaving the courtroom the last time, the court did find the defendant in contempt, sentenced him to 30 days. The defendant will serve that sentence. The court will sign the judgment of sentence regarding the contempt.
I don't understand how that's possible. Like I said, I'm
So
the
first of all,
I'm the
watch your
beneficiary. You're
language.
treating me as if I'm the trustee, or I don't want to partake in any trust fraud or anything like that. Is this a Sest QVA trust matter involved in this? Is my social security number attached to this at all? Go figure.
Mr. Styron, or whoever you wish to be addressed as, I'd suggest that you watch yourself because there's going to be more time coming. You keep it up.
You're
You will
presuming that
you will
jurisdiction
learn
over
how
the
to conduct yourself appropriately in these proceedings in this courtroom and before me. You will not in any manner whatsoever
You're trying to
disrespect
compel me to be somebody I'm not.
or this institution.
You have no evidence
It will not
to prove that
happen.
I'm who you say I
You
am.
will not talk to me in that fashion.
In what fashion? I'm not the one being unethical.
Very good. You'll serve the 30 days. We'll see. We'll see him on the.
Boom. Judge Simpson cuts him off cold. You laugh one more time, that's 30 days. Go, contempt, look it up. And just like that, he's gone. 30 days in jail before the real hearing even starts. I've got to hand it to Judge Simpson. The man doesn't mess around. He's seen this act before, and he's not wasting a single breath on pseudo-legal word salad. These sovereign citizens love to twist every sentence into some bizarre philosophical argument about names, trust accounts, and living men. But what they don't seem to understand is, courtrooms don't run on imagination. Still, this guy clearly didn't get the memo. Even after being hauled off for contempt, he comes back acting like he's the one running the show. Judge Simpson gives him every chance to answer simple questions. Do you understand the charges against you? And what does he do? He spirals right back into his fantasy land about legal entities and fictional persons. It's like watching someone trying to argue with gravity. No matter how passionately he talks, the law just doesn't bend to his beliefs. And then, as if on cue, the judge's patience hits its limit once again. Take him back. When he decides he wants to cooperate, we'll bring him back. Another walk of shame for our sovereign citizen hero. I mean, what's the end game here? Does he want to go to jail? Because from the looks of it, this man is practically volunteering for it. You can even see it on Judge Simpson's face, the perfect mix of disbelief and exhaustion. He's seen 100 of these before, but this one might just take the cake. And the irony? These defendants always claim they're free men and not under the court's jurisdiction, but somehow they all end up in the same place, a jail cell. But things don't end there. After serving his contempt time, our living man makes one last appearance. And it's one for the books. So, after 30 long days behind bars, you'd think this man would have had some time to reflect, maybe even realize that fighting the system from inside a jail cell doesn't exactly scream freedom. But no, he's back. Same tone, same smirk, same stubborn refusal to live in reality. Judge Simpson calls the case again. People of the state of Michigan versus Thomas Styron II. And immediately, the defendant tries to distance himself from his own name. That's not me, he says. That's a legal fiction. At this point, it's almost like he's reading from the Sovereign Citizen Handbook. The judge keeps calm, explains the charges, the rights, the possible penalties. We're talking multiple felonies here, fleeing and eluding, resisting arrest, and driving with a suspended license. Pretty serious stuff. But instead of addressing any of it, he dives straight into word games about trusts, social security numbers, and living souls. It's as if he thinks he's discovered some secret legal cheat code, when in reality, he's just digging a deeper hole. Judge Simpson, though, doesn't flinch. He lays it out with absolute authority. If this man wants to represent himself, fine, but the court will hold him to the same standard as a real attorney. No help, no hand-holding, and certainly no patience for nonsense. You can almost hear the frustration in his voice, a man trying to reason with someone who doesn't believe the earth spins. Then, right when you think the hearing might finally calm down, the defendant tries to challenge, the very foundation of the case again rambling about being compelled into a trust, accusing the court of unethical behavior. And that's when Judge Simpson drops the hammer once more. Watch yourself. Because there's going to be more time coming if you keep it up. That's it. The final warning. The courtroom goes silent for a moment. You can practically feel the tension vibrating in the air. And still, this man can't help himself. He fires back with, "You're compelling me to be someone I'm not." And that's when it's clear he doesn't understand the difference between belief and reality. The judge gives him 30 days, signs the contempt papers, and sends him out once again. Another sovereign citizen walking out in handcuffs, still convinced he's the only one who knows the truth. You know, watching this case play out is frustrating and fascinating all at once. Frustrating, because the judge is forced to waste time explaining basic law to someone who refuses to listen. But fascinating, because it shows just how far some people will go to deny the obvious. That no matter how many legal fictions they talk about, the law still applies. At the end of the day, Judge Simpson did exactly what he needed to. He kept order, enforced respect, and made it clear that the courtroom isn't a place for conspiracy theories. But what do you think? Was 30 days enough, or should Judge Simpson have given him more time for those smug outbursts? Let me know down below. And if you enjoy watching justice served with no nonsense, make sure to like, subscribe, and stick around for more wild courtroom moments like this one.